Hey guys, and welcome to Pixel Cherry Ninja's channel. It's the weekend, which means only one thing: it's time for that weekly news roundup. As always, we will begin with FPGA gaming news, the MiSTer, the Analogue Pocket, and well, any other FPGA gaming news out there that's worth reporting. After that, we will move over to some random and retro gaming stuff. Guys, if you're wondering what this awesome game is, this game here is called Beyond the Ice Palace 2. It is a Metroidvania. It is fantastic. We will have a giveaway for this, so later in the video, check it out. If you want to win this game, you can. I have got a Steam copy to give away. It's coming out in a few days. I think the Steam copy comes out on the 10th. Today's the 8th, and it comes out for consoles on the 13th. Yeah, just before we begin, guys, if you do want to support the channel further than just liking and subscribing, well, I do have a Patreon. Check it out. Don't forget the sponsor of the weekly FPGA gaming and random and retro game news show, MiSTer Add-ons. Check them out for all your MiSTer needs, whether it's a full setup or just bits and bobs. And last thing I promise, don't forget to check out FPC, Free Play City, London's best arcade. Anyway guys, let's see what's been happening. The weekend is here, guys, and we have an absolutely awesome JT Friday. So this game is, well, it's part of the JT Ninja Gaiden, aka Shadow Warriors Core, and it goes by a couple of names. It's known as Wild Fang, also known as Tecmo Night. This isn't a game I played in the arcade. I played this on the Nintendo Switch on the Arcade Archives release years and years later, and instantly I fell in love with it. If you like the Ninja Gaiden game, you will like this. Remember Ninja Gaiden, when you do that jumping attack, or you press jump and then you press attack, you do that kind of neck toss. Well, in this one, you jump on their head, you pulverize them. That's if you're the big dude. You've got different mounts in here. When you're like on the tiger, you kind of spin around their head and destroy them. And if you ever get to be that super dragon, well, it feels a little bit like Altered Beast. You fly around, you just give them one shot, and man, they die. This game is superb. But what's really, really awesome is to see the amount of calls Hatego brings us. Not only does he tackle the heavy hitters, but it's nice to see these lesser known arcade games, a real hidden gem. If you've played this, then excellent, you've got an FPGA implementation of it to re-enjoy. If you haven't played it, then honestly you are in for a treat. I've done a separate video on this where I talk about a funny story about a guy that used to come to the arcade. Remember the days in the arcade where people used to watch you play, or you used to watch people play? Definitely check that video out. It's got a very, very entertaining story. I wish if I could remember the guy's name. All I can remember is he just used to go around going, yeah buddy, yeah buddy. But anyway guys, enjoy this, grab this via your updaters, play it, it's fantastic. There's another game to come, I can't remember what it's called now, hopefully on that Tecmo hardware that Ninja Gaiden and Tecmo Night is on, so look forward to that. But look how fantastic that is. Ride the tiger, spin on the head, chop that head off, and then just jump straight onto another one. It's almost like you're pogoing from one to another. Fantastic game, what a great start to the weekend. Tecmo Night, Wild Fang, you make my heart sing. The SEGA STV core, something we speak about every week, and I feel like I'm going to be speaking about it for a few more weeks. We spoke last week how the cores were separated, so you have an independent SEGA Saturn core and you have an independent SEGA STV core. And guys, this core is fantastic, try it out. Now, it is a manual process, however, community member and just all around awesome guy davewongillies has actually made the script that will update all of the essential parts for you once you've initially added some files onto there. So that's really, really good. It's worth checking out. I'll try and leave a link to that in the description, just like I did last week. But SRG320 has been providing updates for this, in particular for the decompression chip, which affects some games. Astral Superstars, Final Fight Revenge, Radiant Silvergun, Steep Slope Spiders, I was going to say Steep Slope Sliders, a bit of a tongue twister there, among other games. Guys, play this game now. It's fantastic. There is a known issue with Batman Forever arcade game where the kick button doesn't kind of work. Well, it's a weird one, because if you to do the special move, like your super move, you need to press punch and kick. You can do the special move, but you can press the kick button as much as you want, but Batman just doesn't kick. SRG320 has actually acknowledged that issue and says he'll be working on a different control mapper, or a control mapper to kind of fix this issue. So that's something to look forward to. But guys, try this out now. Honestly, it's amazing. There are differences in the games. For example, in Die Hard Arcade, if you play it on the SEGA Saturn, because it's loading off a CD, it takes a little bit longer to load, whereas in the arcade it feels like more of a fluid experience. As well as that, there are some games that have different soundtracks because CD quality sound and cartridge sound, so you might like one better than the other. As well as that, some games have less latency, so there are definitely some differences out there, and it's well worth playing. But try this out, the SEGA STV core, it's amazing. We've got a whole bunch of arcade hits all of a sudden just appear on a MiSTer, and you know I like my arcade games. So if you do one thing this weekend, go play this. I get so excited with the SEGA STV that I kind of forget to mention, so I'm going to mention it now. The SEGA Saturn core has also received multiple unstable updates. So if you're running unstable versions, maybe update to NEO-1. So as well as the STV, the SEGA Saturn core is also getting updates. Just wanted to put that out there. Zaparoo, where are you? We got some work for you to do. Okay, it's not really called Zaparoo, but if you kind of got that jingle at the beginning, the melody at the beginning, you probably watched the same cartoons as I did when you were a kid too. So it's called Zaparoo, and Bedroom Ninja here says Zap Loader and the first adapter pack are now available on my Ko-fi shop. A link here for the Zap Loader and the adapter pack. So let's just head over to the first link, and that's it over here, £35. You can get yourself the Zap Loader, and I'm pretty sure if we scroll further down the page, we can see the adapter set that you can get here. £6 for the adapter set to get different cartridges in there. So let's move along now, and this here from Wizzo, the main developer behind the Zaparoo project. Zaparoo app version 1.5.0 is released. This is mostly in preparation for the Zaparoo online release, but I've included a couple of goodies with it, like quick changing the connected device. Have fun. Okay, and moving on to the next one, and this stuff here is really cool. I'm gonna read this out, where Anime Otaku here says, Bedroom Ninja made custom cartridges modeled after Famicom cards. So I've designed labels and sleeves for them. They work great with the Zap Loader. This whole setup feels complete now, and that just looks absolutely fantastic. Let's just run that from the TOP. So there you go, you got the box there, you got the cart in there, and you take the cart, you put it in the reader, and bada bing, bada bo, it just loads. Honestly, if you want that physical kind of feel, like cartridges are expensive now, so you can kind of make up these mock-ups and have your MiSTer FPGA load them up. There are just so many options out there for us, and so many different Zaparoo options too. So here we go, the nice kind of cases there for them, the back, and that's what they will look like on your shelf. So if that's something you want to get for yourself, then follow the links in the description. And this just looks really nice. And I think I left a reply on this tweet saying, holy bangaroni, it's Batman. Like, Batman on the NES is regarded as a very good game. Maybe I should check it out one day. I don't think I've actually played it. So Anime Otaku here says, shiny template available soon, Zap Loader Zaparoo MiSTer FPGA NES. And that just looks really good. Just a quick little mention of the SuperStationOne, an upcoming MiSTer FPGA PlayStation 1 themed console. And there was some talk about how you will mount the SuperStationOne with the Super Dock. And it looks like it's kind of reached a conclusion now, where Takeuran here says, current version of Super Dock still needs screws to secure Super Dock to the SuperStationOne. So there was all these different mock-ups up, so I think maybe that's the way they're going to go. Who knows, maybe there'll be some changes later, but that's the latest. Do you remember recently, guys, we spoke about cheats for arcade games being implemented to the MiSTer FPGA. The first core to have this feature was the Irem M92 core, courtesy of WuXi. It's his core, and he's the one that put cheats in there. Now, when I did a video on that before, it was a manual install. You had to go get the MRA files, you had to get a custom version of the core, and you had to put them on your MiSTer manually. Well, the good news now is it has been added to the normal version of the core that you get via Update Tool. So if you run Update Tool, your core will get updated and it will be exactly the same, but you will be able to use the cheats. So that's really nice to see. So far, it is only the Irem M92 core that uses this feature, but I do expect in the future other cores to have these cheats implemented. So a big shout out to WuXi and Kitrinks and anyone else that was involved in bringing all of this to light. Heading over to this fantastic place we like to call the MiSTer forums, available at MiSTerFPGA.org. So we kind of just covered this, didn't we? The Irem M92 cheats that have been implemented via Update Tool. So if you go on the forum, it's got a complete log of every update that comes via updates all. So over here, what we're talking about here is mainly the light gun support, but we'll have a look at everything in this post here. So over here on the main input, add support for retro shooter light guns operating in mouse mode, and that's courtesy of Martin Donlon, aka Wickerwacker. Then IDE, add config disk and track info, set features, packet support, and that's by Cadedon. And then AO486, improve UMA by using the real ROM size when loading a ROM, and that's from Humphrey. Input, add support for open fire light guns, that one Seong, that's who that's by, and then Saturn fixes by SRG320. And then on input, add Sinden light gun, okay, and that's from Terminator 2K2. And then at the bottom there, arcade cheat support, what we spoke about, and other fixes and tweaks. An interesting tweet here from Aitor Gómez García, where he says the synchronized fork of MiSTer FPGA main is now available. Enjoy it. I now include the personal brand of the fork as long as it does not decide to integrate into the official project. And if you want more information on that, MiSTerFPGA.org, there's a link in the tweet. So last week I had a bad throat and I couldn't do it justice, so I'm going to say it this week, the Analogizer. Okay, before we get into this story, just noticed something on X, or X previously known as Twitter, really weird. Now I follow Random Monk 3 on Twitter, but it says follow back, and I tried clicking it and it's just been playing up. Let me just refresh that page for you. Here you go, it says following and then it goes follow back. I don't know, some kind of bug there. I checked it on my mobile, I am following the guy. So Random Monk 3 here says released Analogizer NES Core 1.0.6 with Power ROM support. Now you can load NTSC and Power ROMs thanks to customized chip 32 loader and play at the correct pitch and game speed. So absolutely super duper there. I love the support the Analogizer gets. I mean, it's been released for like a year now, is it, or over a year? And yeah, the guy's just always supporting it, adding more cores, just adding more features to it. So currently, if you want to play your analog pocket on a CRT, on an analog display, and use original controllers, your only option is, and it is the best option, it is the Analogizer. This week has been a busy week for the Tang Console by Cypeed. So let's have a look at a series of tweets. There's something here from Nancy Mario. Optimize further, loading the SNES and NES cores in 3 seconds now. Also combining core and ROM loading into a single tap. Moving over to the next one. Take a look at NES, SNES, Game Boy Advance and Genesis on the Tang Console FPGA console. I'm mostly done with the first version of the firmware and the 4 cores. It's more convenient and faster. Just pick a ROM and the core will load before the ROM. Right, moving on. Okay, for devs interested in Cypeed, IO, Tang Console and boards, here's a quick guide on how the NES Tang, SNES Tang cores work now. I'll publish BL616 MCU firmware and cores source code in the coming weeks. Development is easier with the new architecture. It's absolutely amazing if you want to get into core development and you want to have a little bit of a dabble with the Cypeed Tang console boards, then Nancy Mario is helping you guys out. So Cypeed here, kind of talking about the initial game core, switch demo of FPGA Tang retro gaming console, NES, SNES, GBA, Genesis, Switch and Play. More core developers have received the console and are currently adapting it. The first 500 pre-orders can be shipped by the end of this month. So this is coming along really nicely. It's going out to developers and I feel like this is becoming a very viable choice. Yeah, for like an alternative FPGA system. The cores that are on there, just to point out, there are MiSTer cores that are ported over, but either way, fantastic to have more options. Over here, Nancy Mario says, Cypeed IO just published BL616 firmware binaries, and now you can prepare to release Tang firmware that works alongside these. It enables the Tang console to work either as JTAG programmer, debugger, when connected to PC, or loads the custom game firmware. Okay, let's move over to the next one here. So introducing Tang Core Ultimate FPGA Gaming for Cypeed IO Tang Console and etc. One-click setup for NES, SNES, GBA and Genesis, 3-second core switching, USB for further controller and upgrades, and new BL616 MCU firmware, and you can grab it from here. So it looks like it is streamlining, getting stuff working the way we've got stuff streamlined on the MiSTer Analog Pocket, where we use updaters, it looks like you've just got something here to make that experience for the end user, which hopefully will be me and you watching there at home at some point. And over here, a final one here, Nantamario just posted some quick dev docs for Tang core, building from source, developing a new core debugging. Hope this is helpful. Nantamario, Saipido, thank you very much, especially Nantamario, dude. You've really been putting in the work, and it'll be nice to see how this ecosystem develops. As bizarre as they come, guys, this is SuperSEGA, and honestly, like I can't even watch the videos now, but I did get an email saying that they're rebranding and they're doing like a cheaper version with the same spec as the MiSTer. Maybe it's gonna be a MiSTer, and they're going to have like an emulation side, like a hybrid thing, and many people kind of said that at the beginning anyways. They're going to use like software emulation. Whether that surfaces and materializes, who knows what the heck it is. They've just done a really bizarre short. Like seriously, this is just really weird. I know my buddy Video Game Esoterica has been covering it. I'll leave a link to his video. He's covering it and he's making it very entertaining. Honestly, I can't even be bothered to watch this stuff now, but apparently look at over there, it says SuperSEGA is sending me a review unit. Uncle Alejandro is back. So I think this guy died and he came back. Maybe he got resurrected. Have absolutely no idea. Liked prawn and potatoes, has been around everywhere, and apparently like now he's going to be sending out a review unit. But honestly, guys, like maybe I should cover it. Let me know if you want to see comprehensive coverage, but I just can't be bothered with it, man. I just prefer watching the VGE videos when I do watch them. I haven't actually watched this one yet, but yeah, as weird as it comes, do let me know, you know, have these guys given you enough confidence where somehow they didn't deliver the Super SEGA, the Super SPGA, the Super Spaghetti, I don't know what it's called. Are you now going to back them up for a second project that's not as powerful? I don't know. And a massive congratulations and a thank you out to the Game Database, who recently began indexing the SEGA Mega Drive, aka Genesis. And I know it took them a long time. I remember seeing like part 9, so in 10 different parts. We're talking like over 3,000 entries. It is now complete. And it says over there in the Patreon post, as a bonus, I have added all the SEGA Titan Video STV games to the SEGA arcade list. As many of you know, there's a core in development for MiSTer that will let you play these titles. So congratulations to the games database, the Game Database. So the game that you saw in the intro of this week's news video, this is the game here, Beyond the Ice Palace. And guys, I really like, I like some modern games, but I really like modern games that have that old aesthetic. And guys, like I've been playing this. I haven't played it too much. I think if I go down, you can probably see I've only tested it out 0.3 hours, right? So what's that, 20 minutes or something? And honestly, my play of this, I really enjoyed it. It is an instant classic. Now guys, there is a giveaway for this. It's coming out on the 10th, right? So what I will do is trying to do giveaways on YouTube. They've just not really gone well. I have to kind of chase up the winners and I don't get too many entries. However, on X, it's a different story. Lots and lots of you guys enter and the winners contact me within a few hours. So I'm going to be doing a giveaway of Beyond the Ice Palace 2, and I'm going to be doing it on X. So by the time this video is out, the giveaway should be live over on my X, or formerly known as Twitter account. If not, it will be very soon after the video is live. Definitely enter it, and what I'll do is the giveaway will start today, the day this video goes live, on the 8th of March 2025, and I will select a winner, or a winner will be randomly picked via this software that I found that picks a random comment once I input the original kind of link. A winner will be picked, a random winner, and you guys can win this, and I'll decide on that winner on the 10th, so you get this game on the actual launch day. Guys, it's a really good game. Love the graphics of it. It just feels really good. The mechanics, the like kind of width thing you got, it feels good. The way you kind of use it to navigate your way around the levels and everything. Honestly, this is a modern classic. Really looking forward to this. And a big thank you out to P-Cube, Pixel Heart, as well as Rich, their community manager, for giving me a copy to enjoy and play, and giving me an additional copy to give you guys. So head over to the X account, into that giveaway, and I wish you guys the best. Aussie Uzu has released the latest demo of Double Dragon 1 for the NEO-GEO, and this is like a Double Dragon homebrew fan game that's made using, I think, the assets from the iOS game, and for the whole part, it feels Double Dragon, it feels awesome, it feels really, really good to play, so maybe you guys want to check this out. But in short, solo or two-player games following the traditional formula, Billy 1 player, and 2 player is Jimmy. 7 levels, man. 1 plus 3 times 2, 4 bosses. So this demo has quite a bit in there. Definitely check that out for yourself. I'll try and check it out a bit, but like I keep saying, I really need to get and start playing Monster Hunter, man. Look at that, I got that Twitter bug again. I'm definitely following him. I bet you if I refresh the page, it's going to say following, yeah, and follow back. Okay, I'm just going to have to ignore that. So core developer Anton Gale, who recently revealed he's going to be working on a game called Crossbow for the MiSTer FPGA. He also built himself a SEGA Neptune. And Anton, thanks for educating me on that. I thought it was an FPGA console. It's not. It's a recreation using original parts. So I think someone asks him a question. What's the question up here? It looks cool. Would be willing to share the overall cost for such a build, and Anton goes down and he shares in 2025 money, price of a 32X around $100. I guess that's subjective. You might be able to get it cheaper, you might be able to, or you may pay a little bit more. MD2 or Mega Drive 2 around $45. Case is $330, PCB $15, the decals or the decorations $10, BOM components around $50, time, which is priceless, so material cost comes up at $550. So you know, if you are a hobbyist and this is something you want, there is a bit of a cost involved, but if this is something you want to build, it's definitely something that's out there for tinkerers, because I don't think it's the most easiest thing to build. However, you know, those that like it, those that want to do it, and they want to make themselves that cancelled SEGA Neptune by salvaging parts from 2 different SEGA consoles and turning it into 1 mega console, well, the option's there for you guys. And the very, very talented TZMWX, we spoke about this last week, but let's translate this. This tweet here. So completed a SEGA Saturn WUXI and tested it on multiple models and multiple ODEs. It works well. Adjusted some circuits during the production process. Will continue to order new PCB tomorrow. Tested models of VA5, VA2, VA7, VA8, VA10, VA13, all with JVC optical drives. No model with Sanyo or other brand optical drives tested ODEs. And there you go, you got that list down there. I'm not going to read all of that out, but here you go, you can see it in action here. It just looks really, really cool. So what this is something that you can put inside your Saturn that lets you swap between reading the disc and an optical drive emulator. Really, really nice to see innovation like this. Absolutely superb from TZMWX. An interesting tweet here a few days ago from David Shadoff. David Shadoff is someone, whenever I think PC Engine now, I always end up thinking David Shadoff, right? Because of his contributions to the PC Engine community in general. So David here says, I just learnt about a site with previously unpublished cheat codes, joypad sequences, right? What's a cheat code in this day and age? You want to cheat? No problem. Buy some in-game currency, pay some money and buy your cheats. Remember the days where all our cheats were joypad sequences? So anyway, joypad sequences for PC Engine games, Japanese language. One of these techie packy working love will help me examine a new bug in MiSTer's PC Engine core. So thank you, Yamada Arthur. So let's check this site out. It's going to be a Japanese site. So here we go. So that's the site there. Let's click English and kind of see what we get here. So there you go. You've got joypad inputs in there. It looks like it's doing a decent job doing the translation. So look, Astro Fang, title screen, enter up, down, down, A. Remember that? Remember the days, guys, where those joypad combos gave you the cheats? Absolutely amazing. So if you're a PC Engine fan, you might want to check this out. There might be some cheats out there for games that will let you finish the game, or it might just give you more options in the game that will make the game more fun. So once again, a massive thank you out to David Shadow and Yamada Arthur. So guys, that wraps it up for this week's video. I really do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then a subscription and a like is super duper appreciated. Be absolutely awesome to one another. Take care. This is Pixel Cherry Ninja out.